Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I just want to do a quick live to share about how you can, a researcher, a PhD candidate, how you can write a good research finding write-up inside your thesis. Okay, because most of students, usually most of PhD candidate, they forget that when they do the write-up on the research finding, the findings, the write-up inside the thesis, in the findings section, research findings, most of students forget that they thought whatever the finding that they should highlighted from the research that has been undertaken earlier is stand alone, which is they put their write-up, their idea, the opinion about the finding without any it's kind of, there is no previous related work that, okay, sorry, we have technical difficulties, there is no signal. So first of all, your finding is actually based on the all the work, the initial work from your literature, from your basically from your literature to your pilot, and from your data collection and analysis. But in particular, the finding will focus more on the data analysis result. So you need to transfer the result. The result is a raw information before it comes into your final finding, regardless of you do quantitative or qualitative or mixed method. Those results stay as raw finding that not yet been discussed as your final output. Therefore, your finding should be exclusively written, how you be able to transform your result to significantly highlight your output. For example, if your research is in order, the final output will be developing some model or testing some model. So your finding is the new model that has been tested, or the new model that you construct based on your result. So you need to transform those information from your result exclusively into your finding, and make sure those findings are being right in a critical and strategic way, that you maybe chunk it down to show by stages or by step or by phase how this finding later can be seen or highlighted as a whole. So because why is finding is very important, because it is the reason why you do this research, why you do your research, and finally those finding is the reason why you do your research. Yes, you do research first by identifying the gap. From the gap, you are proposing something which is your finding. So therefore, you need to significantly highlight your finding in such way that people look it and celebrate your findings. So it should be written in details, strategically written, maybe by stages or by phases. Try to chunk it down and strategize. People can take some benefit from your finding, if not all. So it's good to chunk it down, and then you can conclude as a whole. For example, if you tested some model, if you do quantitatively, so you tested some model or some variables. So what is your finding? So try to chunk it down and finally discuss the model as a whole. Same goes to if you do qualitative. You need to remember finding is one of the most crucial element in your thesis. If people say, oh, your finding is, oh, you put it in a way that it is very easy, you wrote it, although the process of you doing research is not that easy, but when you put something, finding, it is like the whole completion of your research, that you put it very easy. For example, half a page or 1 page. It seems like tu je ke yang kau buat? Is that all that you do for the past 3 years or 5 years? No. So make it worth the finding. Write it. I want you to be critical. So to be a researcher, you need to be critical inputting your idea inside your thesis. So this is one tip that I giving you. So make sure you exclusively, strategically write the component of your finding, and also it should be referred to the literature review, because most of researcher, usually we are is young researcher for PhD candidate also, when we do research, we start with literature review. So of course, you need to inter-refer whatever you're finding with literature review, with your analysis, analysis result chapter. Okay, so that's all. I hope everybody can understand. Ataupun kalau dalam bahasa Melayunya, kalau you buat finding research tu, you kenalah sangat tunjukkan, highlight, celebratekan finding tu. Jangan nampak macam simple, mudah, macam ni je ke yang kau buat 3-4 tahun ni. Tak. Jadi sebenarnya kena strategikan macam mana nak tulis finding yang baik. Mungkin macam mana benda tu boleh possibly be applied. Who can benefit? Who yang will be benefit? Siapa, what will be apa? What is the benefit? Who will be benefit? It is part of partial of contribution to knowledge. Kalau you nak kata benda ni akan benefit somebody, or what is the benefit? How it can be possibly applied or practice. Itu boleh jadi dalam finding. Tapi kalau nak kata ada orang benefit, sebab nak highlightkan as contribution, you boleh cakap further details of this discussion on who will be benefit, will be discussed in chapter 6 sekian. So ingat, tesis yang bagus setiap chapter adalah inter-referred. Okay, itu saja. Salam Ramadan.